Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is it Christmas Day? Or is it Rusev Day? By the time this video will be up, it'll be by Christmas night or by tomorrow morning or afternoon. Because why do a review when you can just have a day off on that day? And, just wanted to, first off, we're starting off this Smackdown review. Number one, happy holidays to everybody. Depending on what you celebrate out there, hope you had a really great one, like I have, or anyone else has had out there. So, just wanted to say that first. But on this Christmas edition of Smackdown tonight, something good. Not like Raw, where you see a lot of silly holiday gimmick-like matches and everything. Yeah, it's a little silliness to it, but some actually decent to good matches with actual stuff kind of going on SmackDown. Yeah, it was even a throwaway show, and you could tell the crowd noises was canned in, because I believe they taped this on the same night, same with Monday Night Raw, doing two tapings in a row, because I'm sure that crowd was dead. Because when you look in that crowd and you see some of the chants and stuff they did, you just look at all the fans, they all are just sitting on their hands, on their phones, some of them were reacting and stuff. But I believe it was still Fresno, California again. It was a taped show, and we kicked off this Christmas edition of SmackDown. I believe it was on the same day, though, because the only thing that was a little different, because I think, who was on commentary last week on SmackDown? David Otunga, or maybe they taped it on a different day. I don't know, because Byron Saxon came back on commentary then. But we kicked it off with Truth Claus and Carmelfa, as well, pretty much Truth and Carmelo addresses Santa and an elf. Our Truth said, I've been delivering presents all night, but he had to make a stop to SmackDown. Carmelo was going to go for a 7-second carol break, but Daniel Bryan came out then. I guess he was like the Grinch of all this, which was actually really good here. Honestly, this wasn't even that bad of a segment. Bryan came out, and, he talks about that the WWE champion has to, spend time in this cesspool, then rather be with his family tonight on Christmas night. And he said that Truth Claus, you are not real, you're false, and that, of course, the fans are fickle. That'll be a t-shirt soon enough. As he called them all fickle, though, that he said that Santa is just the epitome of a cheap material desire of the fans, and, you cost half a wreath is on the planet. That you just paying all this money for a wreath that's just, destroying the planet and leaving to garbage in the ocean. Of course, he's being the environmentalist again, and which is some truth. The truth he is saying, though. And he said that temperatures are rising. There will be no North Pole or sand in 20 years. That North Pole thing is actually kind of true, though. I've actually read about that. And that, Bryan says, yes, I am an angry elf, and he will not accept these jokes from Truth, because his career has been a joke. Alright, and it'll end as a joke. But Truth did make a point, though. He says, I'm number 30 in the Royal Rumble, right? Because I could be the last one left, and when I win the Royal Rumble and take your WWE title at WrestleMania. And then Bryan says, how do you expect to win the Royal Rumble when you can't count to 30? But then Truth says, I'm going to prove you wrong. I can count, because I made the 7, and that's a dance break. But as soon as he tried to do that, Bryan shot blocked him from behind. He started attacking Truth's knee, knocking into the post. He put the leg lock in, or the heel hook, and he just held on to it as the crowd booed. And Carmelo told Bryan to stop pretty much taking, doing that to Truth, which they pretty much left Truth in the ring. But actually, not a bad segment, I will say that. Of course, the crowd was with Truth and Carmella and everything. Bryan was like a Grinch right here for SmackDown, which he still got some heat out there too. So not a bad segment between Truth, Bryan, and Carmella. Mustafa Ali went against Almas, Andrade Cien Almas, which I will say they continue to push Almas even more. Not Almas, man, continue to push Mustafa Ali even more. They're really gonna push him for the WWE title. I can see it happening right now. And this was not a bad match. Okay, it was not. But once again, Almas takes another L. He still cannot bounce back from this, I feel like. And here's the thing I'm now hearing about Andrade Cien Almas, that he is not happy with his position on SmackDown. Because at first I heard stories that Vince was high on him. Now I'm hearing stories that he doesn't like where he's in a position. And he said this before in NXT, if I remember, that when he was down there before, they gave him Vega and he became champion, everything was not going out well. He pretty much came out like a male stripper with suspenders on. And I think Del Rio told him to stick it out down there, or did he tell him to go back to Mexico to CMLL? Because I think Del Rio convinced him to stay. Because then again, somebody said now that WWE wants Rush from Los Ingobernables. Please don't. Like, I think we need Los Ingobernables in Mexico. Of course, you have Los Ingobernables de Japón with Tetsuya Naito and them in New Japan. But pretty much, I don't know. Like I said, I've been hearing stories about him not liking his position right now in the company, which, like I said, which has been said before. And he is in a kind of bad position. He puts on these good matches. Don't get me wrong, but he either still loses when he's actually on TV, or you will not see this guy for nearly 3-4 weeks to a month. You'll probably see Vega before you see Ole Miss on TV. And like I said, this was not really a bad match. I will say they are still pushing Mustafa Ali, since he's like the sole cruiserweight right now on this show. So it was still a good match though, and I really do believe that they're gonna push Ali for the title. I'm not saying it is a little bit too fast if they are, but they really are trying to get this going off with him, and he is getting over more and more. I don't know how real that crowd reaction was because it was a taped show, but it was still good. But almost, hopefully something changes around soon in next year and that, because the McMahons said we're going to do this change and everything. Let's see if the change actually happens to Almas, because he really needs to change, if you ask me, because he's either on TV and he loses, or he's just not on TV at all. So I don't know. Will he go back to CMLL? I don't know. Join back with Rush and Los Ingobernables, because come on, Rush is on MLW, kind of getting some traction nowadays and getting off somewhere. So seeing Rush a little bit more on some other wrestling shows than CMLL. But pretty much after that, Samoa Joe delivered a promo from the locker room talking about Jeff Hardy. Enjoy the holidays, but he was going to destroy Jeff. He's going to make up, for he's destroyed, and he's an addiction and stuff. 8-man tag match. Usos and the Club, or Gallows and Anderson, or the Good Brothers, or whatever, versus the Bar and Sanity as of Killian Day and Alexander Wolf. The New Day came out. Of course, they had Christmas gear on. The weird part about it was Big E coming out, pouring oil all over himself with a Santa hat on. This dude looked like a freaking male stripper coming out there. I think Graves was getting mad. This isn't PG, there are children watching, and I think Saxon had no problem with it, but there's just something really strange about Big. This dude's a nasty dude, man. I don't know, man. That dude, man, I don't even know. But Big E, the dude came out with oil, just rubbing it all over himself. I'm like, what is he doing? Okay, I don't even know. As for the 8-man tag, though, wasn't that bad. Gallows and Anderson got the Magic Killer on Cesaro, which maybe they're setting up for a title shot. I'm surprised the Usos wrestled in hoodies out there, but I guess they're setting them up for a title shot now, because maybe they want to do something with them, because maybe they fear now they may go back to New Japan if they don't do something. You haven't done really anything with these two for the past 3 years. Maybe they want to do something with Gallows and Anderson. Maybe, hopefully, because if the Usos won this match, they probably would have got another title shot anyway. New Day is just there. I swear there was 6 tag teams, but I guess, the Colognes don't count. They're worth nothing. They really not. So 8-man tag. The Cruiserweights were in the back celebrating with Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander, with he had like an Ultimate Spider-Man gear on. Akira Tozawa, Brian Kendrick, who actually looks like Spanky when he debuted in the company back in what was it, 02 or 04. Since he shaved his beard, and I guess he faced on 205. I need to keep up with that more often, but he just looks like Spanky now, back when Smackdown was like in 02 and 04. That's what he looks like. He doesn't even look like Brian Kendrick. He looks like way younger now, if I'm correct, with Brian Kendrick. So he just looks like old school Daniel Bryan. Not Daniel Bryan, but old school Brian Kendrick now. But as Mustafa Ali was, they were congratulating him. Shelton Benjamin, there's another guy that's not even on TV. Hopefully something happens to him, because you forget he's even in the company. Because I'm like, well, how long is his contract? Because this guy does nothing. They don't do anything with Shelton Benjamin. He showed back on TV for a good minute, then he disappeared for the next 2-3 months again. I don't know how long his contract. I don't know, but like, can we get this guy on TV? He's really good. So someone get Benjamin back on TV to wrestle, please. To put back Suzuki-gun or something. But as he was about to shake his hand, Daniel Bryan attacked him from behind, and he said, "You don't belong here," as he kept beating him up. Miz came out to do Miz TV. As you know, he had Shane McMahon come out, and he talked about, and Shane talked about the McMahons being in charge of Raw and Smackdown, and they're listening to the fans, and they want new superstars, matchup, new opportunities. How many times have you heard that speech from the McMahons? And you know, and then he means that Shane had a little free time because Miz said we can go the best tag team. Miz said the reason why we need to become a tag team because his own father and everything. Because Miz talked about all his accomplishments from being WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, Money in the Bank winner, reality shows, Slammies, multiple other accomplishments. But he said his was never good enough for his dad or something. And and he pretty much, as he went on, he said, "This is why we need to become a team. We need to be the best in the world so his dad will believe in him." Because he said at WrestleMania, when he even defended in the main event, he said, The Rock helped you, right? So, I guess Miz really wanted this team going on, and Shane said he put it in the hands of the WWE Universe and stuff, and says, it wasn't their decision to make, but he says, "I need your decision and everything." And Shane pretty much said, he said everything Miz has said has resonated with him, but he said, "You better not screw me or it's going to be consequences," as Shane said. So Shane shook his hand. It was kind of a big populace that was canned in, but that World Cup trophy was there, and I guess people chanting yes, and they want them to be a team. So I guess Shane McMahon, he's gonna start wrestling again or something, on win the tag titles, and Miz are gonna be a team now. I can see Miz turning heel. I don't really think Miz turning face and Shane's gonna turn heel, because Miz being a face is not really a good idea. It's not. And heel Shane, I don't think that's gonna work either. It might as well just be the other way around. But this was an interesting segment. I don't know why Miz is using this. I guess it's no daddy issues, because maybe Shane has his own to kind of, I don't know, resonate with him or like connect with him. So I don't know how that's really gonna go on there. But we'll see with this team thing. I'm really still not with the whole Shane and Miz idea, because I really don't know where this is going, but maybe it's a little interesting now that I've seen it. Rusev was delivering a promo in the back. It is his birthday. I should also add his Rusev Day, the real Rusev Day now, because his birthday is on Christmas Day. So kind of forgot about that, as he's talking about going against Nakamura tonight. Samoa Joe went against Jeff Hardy. Match was not bad, but I guess it was a DQ or no count out since they fought on the outside, and Jeff threw him over the announce table. Joe pretty much caught him in with a Keenan clutch, choking the life out of Jeff Hardy, leaving him there. So we will see another match with these two, probably at the Rumble or something, and maybe in some stipulation. I don't know. I see Samoa Joe taking another L again, because like he takes an L in all these feuds. He could be a great heel in these, but it's hard to do that when he keeps taking losses. That's the thing that sucks. He keeps taking losses out here. SmackDown announced that the New Day will have a New Year celebration. As of John Cena will be back on both shows next week. Usos was in the back. Wish each other Merry Christmas. I guess they were going to go to Jay's house for Christmas. Next thing you know, Jimmy turns around. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are there. As there was mistletoe there. As Rose pretty much, he said, "You know what that is. You know what's missing." So I was Rose trying to hit on Jimmy Uso. Naomi showed up pretty much throwing a shoe and was pissed, trying to attack them. They got out of there, and Jimmy told her to calm down. "Hey man, nothing happened," and then they, kissed and made up after that with his wife. I guess it's gonna be a Naomi versus Mandy Rose match. Could see it coming right now. So I guess they set up a feud right there with those two. Since I guess he's trying to go after, Jimmy Uso and stuff. So we'll see what goes on from that. Most likely something will happen next week though. Main event, Shinsuke Nakamura, which I'm surprised he wrestled in a jacket throughout this whole match. Not that blue one, but he actually dressed in the red one. He wrestled in the whole jacket. Went against Rusev for the U.S. title. Which was a good match. I will say that. A very good match with these two. Yeah, really good match with these two. Rusev actually picking up the win on Nakamura. So, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. It was actually a really good match. And I almost thought Rusev was going to win, but Rusev hit the Machka kick and won. And now, since, Rusev is the new U.S. champion, which I feel is long overdue, they finally given this guy something. Maybe we threw Rusev another bone, because they really tried to kill Rusev Day as much as they could. Nakamura, I don't know. His contract is supposed to be coming up at the beginning of the year, I think. If this was it, I don't think it's it because I think he'll be in the Rumble. But if this was really it right here, it would be a very big surprise if next week, because next week is Wrestle Kingdom, and it would be cool if he showed up the night after Wrestle Kingdom and showed up at New Year's Dash, making his big return to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I would actually like to see that because this whole thing with him and WWE, I'm sorry, it's just not working anymore. I don't know what else. I don't know. This is just getting bad now. Like, the heel thing was good, but then he just came kicking everybody in the nuts. And he just had a title and never showed up. So, they really... Listen, I always thought Nakamura was going to be the next big thing on here, but they ruined that for people. They really did, where I don't think people really care that much anymore. So, at this point, I'm saying go back to New Japan. Go for that WGP title. Face Omega Tanahashi or whoever wins that match after Wrestle Kingdom. I would like to see another Omega and Nakamura match. Love to see it. That depends on Omega's contract in New Japan, though. Will he retain the championship? We shall see. AJ Styles was walking in the back. He went to Vince's office as Vince, they shook hands. And, Vince says, I want to know who you are. And he says, I'm phenomenal. I'm a two-time champion. This is a house that AJ Styles built. But Vince says, no. Why aren't you competing in your own house then, huh? Why is Daniel Bryan competing tonight? Which he did not. But Vince pretty much one that says, new Daniel Bryan wants to know but he knows the new Daniel Bryan. But I want to know who the real AJ Styles is. And he says, Vince says, I've seen superstars come and go. They won their championships and everything. But then they became complacent and they go home. And he said he knows that's not Styles because he said, you got a black hole in your heart. And it's like classic heel Vince right here. And you're a tormented soul and, you're afraid what's going to happen. It's like Vince is trying to free the hate in AJ or let the hate flow through or bring in a real AJ Styles. Let the beast come out. The dark guy, I don't know, the energy that you need or something. And he says, I want to see it. That's what I want to see. And from his whole style, he's like, because you will brutalize everyone that comes in the squared circle with you pretty much. And Vince says, I want the animal out of there. I want the beast out of AJ Styles. Vince slapped him in, and he says, I'm going to see it. Styles pretty much hit Vince to the ground until Jamie Noble and some agents rushed in and took Styles away. And they asked Vince if he was okay. He says, Vince pretty much smiled and said, yeah, I'm good. I think I'm good. So, is AJ turning heel? I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't know if he's going to turn heel. But it's just like, I've seen this before with Vince McMahon in the past. Of him just trying to bring the dark out of them or bring something. It's like classic heel Vince. He's trying to bring something out of them. Like, I don't know, just up to a different level now. So it was interesting to see, especially the segment with Vince and AJ at the end of the show. So Vince has done this in the past, but where is it really gonna go with AJ Styles? I don't know. So that was like a very interesting thing to like Vince trying to bring the real AJ or like the beast out of AJ or something going on with that. But overall, SmackDown was pretty good. Actually, a noteworthy show when you think about it. Not the same, holiday gimmick street fights or giant, people throwing candy canes and eggnog at each other and stuff. This is actually pretty good. Raw was just garbage. SmackDown actually had some things going on. From the ending, Rusev finally being Rusev Day, winning the title on Christmas Day, and what else? I thought Ali and Ole Miss was good. Even the beginning segment with Bryan and Truth was pretty good too. But that's my review of SmackDown. When you see this, it'll either be uploaded tonight or somewhere tomorrow morning or in the afternoon or something. So we'll see where this goes. So like I said, man, pretty good SmackDown. Not a bad SmackDown at all. Pretty good. Decent but good. But that's my review. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the show. And yeah, happy holidays, and I'm out of here. Peace.